Creative Magic Club. What's up? This is Sarah Mack and welcome to Creative Magic Club. Together we'll discover inspirational stories of creative entrepreneurs living out their dreams, doing the work they are most passionate about, and building wealth in magical and fun ways. While building a six-figure income as a writer and coach, helping other women to launch their dream businesses, I've connected with so many incredible people and seen it proven again and again that you can thrive financially doing whatever it is you are passionate about. I'm here to share life-changing strategies for mindset, making money, and reaching more people with your work in a business and life filled with creativity, freedom, and fun. Hi, Sarah Mack here from withsarahmack.com, and I have such a juicy topic to jam out with you on today. And that is how to use astrology to build your brand tone of voice. So what I'm going to share with you is going to bring you so much confidence and clarity and magnetism in your brand, which, let's be honest, I think the hardest thing about building a brand is the constant comparison, right? We all do it. We're all we're seeing people who are succeeding in the ways that we want to succeed. We're looking at their content and we're like, what are they doing that I'm not doing that I need to do so that I can create results like them? Like, this is the constant thought loop when we're on social media and you're a content creator and you're a coach and you're a creative. And I know very well the fine line between being inspired and getting ideas and just like going down the comparison rabbit hole and feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like you don't have the qualities or the skills or the tools that other people have. And so that means that you're not going to get the results that other people have. So the reason I love astrology is it's like a way to divert that kind of rabbit hole thinking that is it's like looking in a mirror, right? It's turning our perception and back to looking at ourselves and being able to see ourselves from it's like this amazing external tool that reflects back our strengths, our gifts, our uniqueness, our talents, also our challenges and the things that make us human, that, by the way, are also incredibly valuable to be sharing and building your brand so that you can create connection and so that you can create trust with your community and with your audience. So I've been obsessed with astrology for a long, long time, but I can't even describe it. It's like this burning desire that is getting stronger and stronger and stronger within me. So I'm going with it. I'm going down that rabbit hole, and I've been really diving in deep to astrology. I've been using it more in my work with my clients, and I'm obsessed and I love it. And it's just bringing me so much joy and so much value and so much clarity and confidence in the moves that I'm making in my business. And so I want to share some of the ways that I have been using that with you so that you can do the same. So one of the ways I use my chart, so I mean, how much of a better time spent is this than looking at your astrology chart, researching all of the different aspects of yourself, doing that self-reflection, looking at how interesting and unique you are, and then, allowing that to inspire decisions in your creativity, in your content creation, in your messaging, and in your business, than going down the social media rabbit hole and trying to do what other people are doing in order to succeed, which doesn't work, right? When we really do things in our own way, that's our magic source that really attracts people to us. So one thing I like to do is look up, and I'm going to give you 3 areas of your chart that you can look at. And I really follow my intuition with this. I'm like, what am I feeling called to learn about? And you really can't go wrong. Like, pick whatever you're feeling curious about, just research it on the internet, right? Like, research that placement and follow your intuition, see what's standing out to you, see what's resonating with you, see what's maybe triggering you. That's another one that's always useful to look at. And then turn that into some prompts. And I'm going to share a couple prompts with you before we dive into the specific areas of the chart that I think are really great to look at when you're developing your brand voice. So prompt number 1 is how am I currently showing this energy in my brand? So you'll look at one of the placements that I'm going to tell you. Let's just say your sun sign, for example. Everyone knows their sun sign, right? So look at that sign, do some reading about it, see what types of energies, behavior patterns, traits, challenges, strengths are associated with that placement. You can also do this for the house that your placement is in, and ask yourself, what does this bring to mind for me? Just tune into your intuition. Think about the ways that you've been showing up, that you've been creating, the things you've been doing well, the things you really like doing, maybe some of the things that you've had challenges around, or maybe have had self-judgment around, and just journal. See what comes out, see the ways that you're currently already showing this energy in your brand, and really throughout your whole business, and the way that you're expressing yourself in your work with your clients, in all communication and all content creation. Then the next question I'm going to share with you is, what are some fun ways that I can show more of this energy in my brand? And this is so important to remember, that your brand and your business it's self-expression. It's an extension of you and of the bajillion different choices that we have to make every day in our creativity. Pick the ones you want, right? Where have you, and just notice what comes up for you in this question. Maybe there's some rules that have bubbled up for you that you've kind of, ingested and you've unconsciously been operating under. And notice when you start to lean into more of these things that are uniquely you, where your mind is like, oh, but I can't do that because XYZ. Or, so-and-so told me that that's wrong. Or that's not going to be good enough because if I do this, then that means I'm not doing this, and that means I'm not going to succeed because that's what this person and this person and this person have said or have been doing in order to create results. So really challenge your thinking. This is a great reflection tool to challenge your thinking, where you've created unwritten rules about what is needed of you and what should not be avoided from you in order to succeed. And this is a tool where we get to make our own rules, because there's a billion different ways to do business. The biggest gift I received was at the start of my journey as an entrepreneur. I wrote for more than 1,000 different types of online businesses as a copywriter. I have seen every single type of business under the sun, and I'm sure there's many more I've never seen. But it just showed to me, whatever your passion is, whatever your unique gifts are, whatever your obsessions are, if you can create a website and a strong message around it and reach the people who share that passion, you can have a business, and you can do it in whatever way you want. So notice what comes up. Be willing to challenge your thinking. Be willing to write yourself a big fat permission slip to simplify, to lean into your strengths, to do it the way that you want to do it, because this is always going to create momentum in your brand. Yes, we live in an age where if you want to be top of mind, you want to be connecting with people, you want to be growing your community, content is a non-negotiable. So let's focus on keeping it simple, keeping it aligned, and keeping it fun so that you can get it done and continue to show up. This doesn't need to take a long time when you lean into your unique strengths and gifts. So those are the two questions. How am I currently showing this energy in my brand? And what are some fun ways that I can show more of this energy in my brand? And just let that be a jumping off point for you to explore and get inspired. And remember, the answer to these questions is the way you want to do it. That is the right way. There is no right way. So I'm going to share the 3 placements that I think are super valuable if you are a coach, if you're a healer, if you're a creative, if you're a change maker, building an online brand. So number 1 is kind of obvious, your sun sign, right? Wherever your sun is, whatever sign it's in, whatever house it's in, dive into that. That's your personality. That's really how people are seeing you and perceiving you. That's a lot of your dominant energy. So look at that one. Actually, I'm going to add a 4th one. The next one is Chiron. I'm obsessed with working with Chiron for healers because your Chiron is your deepest wound. And the thing I love about Chiron placement is, and I've done a lot of work with this with clients, is you see that everyone's got a wound somewhere, right? We're all human. We've all been hurt. We've all been through stuff. We all have some type of an insecurity. It's just placed differently for each of us. And sometimes it can feel like, oh, I'm the only one who feels like this, or nobody understands me. And so a lot of the time there's shame around the pain that we feel because of our humanness, and our tendency is to hide that, right? So when you're a healer, a big part of our leadership is to be, clear the shame from our human experience, and to be leaders in putting a voice to the things that we have historically hidden from or have been covered because culturally, we've been oppressed in certain ways because of the way that our culture is structured. So it's edgy, it takes courage, but it is your gold, because when you stand out and share the challenges that you've experienced, the vulnerabilities that you have come up against and moved through, that is like an espresso shot for connection with your community. They're going to be like, oh, I feel so seen. You get me. I trust you. And they're going to be more willing to open up and to share and to connect with you, which is going to lead to more fruitful relationships, which is going to lead to more transactions, more sales, more impact in your business. So look at your Chiron and look at your moon, because your moon is how we are emotionally fed and how we emotionally connect. And we all know that emotion is the currency of your brand. So bringing your humanness, not just being a freaking chat GPT robot regurgitating keywords. This is not going to be the thing that builds human connection, that builds real relationships, that builds impact and growth and sales in your business. So pay attention to where your moon is, what sign is it in, what house is it in, and look at how you can bring more of, again, ask yourself those questions. Where am I already bringing this energy into my brand? Where am I already expressing myself in these ways? And what are some more fun and aligned ways that will feel really good to me to be expressing myself in my brand? Hi loves, I wanted to let you know that I made a special free gift just for you. It's called the Cash Injection Ritual, and it's my 3-step method that you can use to create extra cash sales starting today. I used to suck at making consistent money, and I believed I would never be good at sales because I refused to do anything that feels out of integrity. Then I discovered the powerful mindset shifts I'm about to share with you, and I implemented this cash injection ritual to double my income 3 years in a row, making it to 6 figures in my dream coaching business. Now I'm so effing excited to share this work with you so you can start receiving the money you so deserve. So click the link in the description or go to withsarahmac.com and you can download the cash injection ritual from the freebies menu at the top of my page. Please remember to share your celebrations with me when the extra sales and cash starts to roll in. Before we get back to the episode, I have something exciting to tell you about. There were a couple of key things that changed everything in my life as an entrepreneur that allowed me to bring in 6 figures while working half as many hours and having more fun than ever before in my business. It was money mindset work around how I was doing business, combined with getting good at sharing strategic sales content online. I know you know that this is your year to start hitting your 10K month income goal and living the life of creative freedom and fulfillment you have been dreaming about. You're ready to be consistently attracting total dream soulmate clients through the creative content you're sharing on social media, and you want to be reaching more people, charging higher rates, and working much less. So I'm very excited to invite you to join me in Freedom Club, my mastermind, where you'll receive tailored high-level support to master the skills that will create your dream life and 6-figure dream business starting now. With focused weekly trainings and coaching calls to find the clarity on your content that's going to make you the most money, to design a simple, fun launch strategy you'll enjoy following through on, plus daily support and feedback from me in the Voxer chat, you'll find that sweet spot in your business where you're the most confident in your work, having the most fun, and making the most money. Go to withsarahmac.com/freedom club to apply now. Now let's get back to the episode. And then the last one is obviously your rising sign. That's another one is really how people see you. So look at those 4: Chiron, your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. And ask yourself those questions. Mercury's another one. Okay. I mean, we could do this with every single planet on your chart, but those are really great ones to start with. And if you can't be bothered to go and look these up and spend the time doing it, and you want me to do that for you, I actually have an amazing offer on at the moment, which is money making content with astrology, where I'm going to give you feedback and some specific prompts for you to be creating content in your brand based on your offer. So reach out to me if you want to book one of those. We have intro pricing on that. I'm very excited about it. And if you join Freedom Club this month, that is also one of the enrollment bonuses. So when it comes to tone of voice, here's what I have to say. I know who you are, right? Like, you're a healer, you're a content creator, you're an impact maker, you're a change maker. And the most simple way for you to have the most power and to stand out online and to attract your soulmate people is to be yourself, right? And I know that it's like a double-edged sword, right? It's like complete freedom. I just get to show up as who I am today, and that's enough, and that's always true. But on the flip side of that, it's like, well, I'm 50 bajillion things. So which one of these things do I show up as today? I'm like, I'm happy, I'm sad, I'm a writer, I'm also a healer. I'm like, which one of these things am I going to show up as? So your tone of voice is really constructed of two things. One, it's the topics that you talk about. So this is your messaging, right? And your messaging is determined by your offer. Like, we're not just here to shout into the void. We're here to make impact, right? We're here to inspire people to take action, to facilitate transformation in our communities, in the lives of very specific people, right? The things that we have the most power to be able to influence. So our topics are always, always, always going to be determined by what we're selling, right? Because people can obviously get value from our content online and our brand all day long and can really, receive a lot of value and support from that. But that is nothing compared to when somebody enters a client relationship with you and actually commits to the work and commits to the transformation. So your topics always, always, always are rooted in what you're selling, in your offer, and the result that you help a very specific person to create. So that's your messaging. And then the tone of voice, the other aspect of your tone of voice is how you talk about it, right? Because there's so many different ways that we can express ourselves online. We could have a podcast that's just audio. We could be creating reels. We could just be creating carousels and graphics. We could be, hosting meetups. We could be engaging with people in a free Facebook community. We could be sharing long form storytelling with images and posts on Facebook. There's many, many different ways that you can choose to show up and share your message and connect with and engage with and nurture your community. So how you talk about it, that's really an expression, an extension of your personality. So it's the medium, it's the style, it's the platform, it's the choices that you make. It's how you do it and how you transmute your message through to be delivered to your people. So here's the most simple piece of wisdom that has worked for me, that has worked for my clients for years and years and years. When we start overcomplicating nurturing our community through our content, which is to talk like you and to create like you. So a really simple way to do this is to actually record conversations that you have when you are talking about your work, when you're talking about your why, your desires for your impact, your desires for your client. And some really simple ways to do this are to capture conversations that you're having with clients, or if you're in the process of enrolling clients into a new offer, capturing sales conversations that you're having, or Zoom brainstorms or workshops that you're doing, or market research interviews that you're doing. Also, obviously, when you're working with a coach, that's when all of those gold nuggets are going to come through, when someone's asking you questions about these things. And it can even be when you're talking to a friend. Like, you could literally give a friend a list of questions to ask you and to ask them and to answer, really like connect into your heart, tell the freaking truth. It always comes down to telling the truth, and record it and capture those sound bites as you express it in your own voice. So often, especially in the way that we're taught, in school, it's like, oh, you have to be perfect, you have to have perfect grammar, you have to have perfect spelling. And obviously, depending on your personality, those things may or may not be important to you. I hate the grammar police. I am a grammar police rebel. So I celebrate when I make mistakes. I celebrate when I make up words, because that feels like freedom to me. And that's human language. Human language is changing all the time. So the more you can be, the more human you can be, like errors and all, because we're not walking textbooks, right? Remember that. We are not a walking freaking dictionary and a textbook and an academic textbook. We are human beings. So be all of you. And that is going to be the most potent content that you can make. Same thing with the medium, right? Don't try and pretzel yourself into making a type of content that you hate making. And let me share a bit of personal story around this to, help for you to reflect and shed some light on where you might be having these conversations with yourself. So Reels, right? Video content, video marketing. I've always loved live streams. It's been easy. I mean, it hasn't always been easy from the beginning. Obviously, I was nervous. Obviously, I had to build the skill of talking about and selling my offers and my work. But I've always loved live streams. And when it came to Reels, like, I always loved video. My background is in film. I've made some short experimental films. Like, I love being able to dive into the editing process. But as an entrepreneur, that felt really overwhelming for me. I'm sure you can all relate. And so I was in huge resistance for a really long time, even though there was a desire within me. And I have, so my Mercury and my Sun in the 12th house, which is kind of like behind the scenes, that like producer, director energy, combined with I have a lot of Gemini. So that like multi-talented, multi-passionate, like writer, creator, that's me. Like, I used to make music videos with my cousins when I was a little kid. As soon as I had access to a video camera, I was making like weird videos. So that is like an innate desire within me. But there was all of this mindset stuff around video marketing for my business, right? Where I was like, well, editing takes a lot of time. I'm really like fast at writing at this point because I've been writing so much and I enjoy writing, and that just like comes out of me with ease. So editing was not a skill that was really honed for me, even though I did have that desire to be expressing myself through video and through images. And obviously that was like an aligned goal for my business, because as we all know, Reels are getting the best reach on Instagram right now. And that is a platform that I have just felt really called and aligned with building on. So I went through that whole phase of like being in resistance and having to constantly come back to like, this is a desire for me to be creating video in this way. Like, that is in alignment with me and who I am. And it's not me trying to force myself to do things in the way that other people are dictating. Anyway, by the time I'd worked through this resistance, I discovered that you can literally edit a video on CapCut in like 2 minutes flat. And I'm like, amazing. It gets to take so much less time than I thought. So just know that some of those conversations will be going on. Like, there's what's aligned for you, that's what's a desire for you, and then there's all your mindset stuff around why this feels hard. And then there's the genuine skill building too, right? Like, maybe you don't know how to build that out. And there is some growth to go through to be good at expressing yourself in the ways that you desire to be expressing yourself. So take my new mindset, which is social media gets to take 10 minutes. Whatever I'm creating, it gets to take 10 minutes or less. I'm still working on that. I still, I'm building out some carousels. I'm stretching myself a little bit and figuring out my creative process as always, which is always changing. But the most important thing is that it's fun. The most important thing is that I'm tapping into, this is self-expression for me. This is an aligned self-expression for me, in alignment with my impact, with my mission, with what I'm here, the message I'm here to share with my community, the impact that it is my desire to make. And always coming back to that, because that is going to motivate your creativity and let you find solutions that you didn't have access to when you are judging, trying to force yourself to do things you don't really want to do, or trying to copy the way that other people are doing it because you think that's what's required in order to succeed. So create content in the way that you are excited to create, and build skill and find the way that works for you. And it's okay if the skill building process takes a bit of time and involves some discomfort and will involve a lot of mindset stuff. But remember, this is really how you stand out. It's your uniqueness. It's making things in the way that you're making things now. It's expressing things in the way that you are expressing them now. And we're all in process. We are all in process. And we know so often, sometimes your half-assed way of doing things is the most inspiring thing to somebody else, because they're like, oh my God, look at her. Like, that reel kind of sucked, but she did it. She published it. And I got value from that. And I was inspired by that. So remember, being in process is you being you. And go and use these prompts. Go and use your astrology chart. Just follow your intuition. Use it as a tool for reflection. And have fun with it. The more fun we have tapping into our creativity and really using tools like astrology to reflect on our strengths, to reflect on what are true desires for us, and what are maybe things that we have been shoulding ourselves into doing or have created an unwritten rule around needing to do. You know, we're always evolving at such a fast pace. The social media environment is evolving at such a fast pace. So that's an invitation to always question and to always innovate and to always shift things up and find new ways of doing things that are super fun, that are even more in alignment, and that allow ourselves to express even more of who we are. That's how we make the biggest impact. That's how we really stand out as a brand. So be you, do it in the way that you want to do it, and do it in the way that you're capable of doing it now, and trust that that is enough. So I hope you have found this valuable. I hope you go away and use these prompts. Please share this with anybody you know this will resonate with, and send me some hearts, send me some comments. Let me know what comes up for you, and stay tuned, and I'll see you soon. Sending you lots of love. Bye.
For more inspirational content, head over to my website withsarahmac.com, and please support the show by liking, commenting, and subscribing.